Hey and howdy, howdy and hi. Welcome back to another Monster High redesign video. Thanks for dropping by. It's been about a month since the first video, and a lot of you guys really enjoyed the first video, so I decided to make another one. This time with Cleo, Deuce, Ghoulia, and Abby. If you haven't seen the first one, you totally should. I really like the designs a lot from the first one, so I would highly recommend it. You don't have to, but I'm just saying. But yeah, other than that, I'm really happy with some of these designs. Some of them were a bit out of my depth, but I decided to work on it. It did take a while. I'm so sorry about that, but sometimes, you know, good ideas take a while. But yeah, I'm very excited to have these up now, and then I'll be slowly uploading them on my socials. But yeah, I'm very excited for these, especially now that it is spooky month, so it's the appropriate month to post some monsters. And speaking of spooky month, this is a slight PSA, sorry, but I swear it'll be quick. If you guys haven't subscribed, I would highly recommend it, because October I have a lot of stuff planned. If you enjoy Cult of the Lamb, After Party, or if you enjoy some cartoons like Infinity Train, Bee and Puppy Cat, stuff like that, I would recommend subscribing. I have a lot of stuff that I'm planning to upload in October, hopefully. So if you like that stuff, you should stick around and keep an eye out. But yeah, if you like the speed paints, if you want to see some gaming content, you should stick around. I'm just saying, I have some very fun stuff planned. It's gonna be a month. But yeah, other than that, let's get on to the video. Of course, we're gonna start with the queen bee herself, Miss Mummy, Cleo Denial. She is, first of all, amazing, but holy heck, her design was something that I really had to think about for a second, because I really wanted to do Cleo justice. She is classy, she is stylish, she is the queen, you know? I didn't want to do a design that would do her dirty, you know? But, how do I start even? It took a lot of thinking. I had to look through her wiki and read through her stuff. And it was a lot of research, honestly. I think a lot more research than the other characters. The other characters I had more instinctual design ideas for, but for Cleo, I really had to think about it. What would make Cleo classy without shoving her in a dress? Because my goal with these designs is to make them very diverse. I think a lot of the gripes that I would have with G1 if I had to really look for like bad things is the fact that a lot of the characters have similar hairstyles in terms of having their hair down. I'm not saying their hairstyles are all the same. I'm just saying a lot of them have their hair down, even though you could do a lot of hairstyles by putting them up or playing around with the hair, but a lot of them had just their hair down. And a lot of the characters were also wearing skirts and dresses, when you could do a lot of cool stuff with other fashion as well. So for Cleo, she was one of the few characters I decided to keep her hair down, but, I decided to use her hair from the Scarus City of Frights doll. I think that was the one. Because I really liked the bangs. I don't know why, but I really liked those bangs from that one, so I decided to put her hair down, make it a little bit more wavy, give it some volume, right? She takes care of her hair. She weaves gold into her hair. And then listen, it took a second to figure out, right? Her hair, I couldn't figure out how to color it, so instead I was like, you know, what if she's trying something new? What if she's going with gradient hair instead of whatever is going on right now? I don't know how the artist for the original G1 Monster High redrew Cleo so consistently. My kudos to them, they are a god. Because I could not figure out her hair for the life of me. So instead I decided to do a really cool gradient with the colors of brown that were in her hair, and then I decided to put the gold in, as well as little gold rings in there, because you know, Cleo would accessorize. She would accessorize. She would add those like cute little gold rings in her hair and then just flaunt them. You know, she could just tuck her hair back and just flaunt them. But yeah. Back to the whole reading the bio. So for Cleo, I saw in her bio that she is actually a fan of pants. God dang it, the dogs. Oh well. But yeah, she is a fan of pants. So I took that idea and ran with it the whole mile. Because she's usually wearing a romper. She usually prefers to wear a romper of her bandages. But instead, I decided to give her actual pants and to incorporate her bandages more into her upper torso. Because I thought that kind of balance would work well. And also because I wanted to give her fancy businesswoman pants. I wanted her to look like she's like preparing herself for an industry takeover, right? Because she is the heiress to her father's, I don't know. I read up on her, but I didn't read up on her. I kind of forgot her dad's whole shtick in the new monster world. I forgot if he like owns a business or something. Either way, she's the heiress to his legacy, right? So I gave her these businesswoman pants that she could wear at school too, you know, just a casual business look that says that she takes no shit. And then, along with that, I gave her that kind of like gold band around her neck to kind of assimilate with the top, just to give it a little bit more oomph, and also to place the, her, what is that called? It's not a shawl. It's like a jacket. It's the little jacket thing I gave her, okay? I gave her the thing to put the jacket underneath because I thought that would look cool, and also because I wanted to reference how Egyptians wore those sheath dresses that were very like thin linens, but I didn't want to straight up just give her thin linen clothing because obviously that YouTube would say no. But yeah, other than that, I made her look fancy. And honestly, I kind of like it. I like the whole, like, nice businesswoman look. I think she looks real regal. I think she looks very fancy. And hopefully I did her some justice. But now I have to do her boyfriend some justice because he's up next. And I'm terrified. Oh god, we're on to Deuce. Okay, listen, disclaimer immediately before I start explaining about my whole process for this guy. I don't draw dudes. If you've seen any of my art, I don't draw dudes, and there's a good reason, okay? I feel scared when I draw dudes, okay? I can't figure out their anatomy. I'm working on it. That's why I added him to the lineup, okay? I learned a lot, while also being constantly filled with anxiety during the process. But, I did it. He's done. So basically for Deuce, he was the simplest design. I'm gonna just say it. He's the simplest design because his design was relatively simple when I kept looking at references for him. Other than his regular outfit, you also can see him in his, like, basketball team uniform. I think he's on the basketball team. I'm pretty sure he's the captain. But yeah, usually you'll see him in his team uniform or in his regular punk-inspired outfit. There wasn't really a lot to go over, you know? And there was a lot of options that I could have gone with instead of making him like a Jughead-looking ass bitch. I really hate the live action for Deuce, if you can't already tell. He really looks like Jughead from Riverdale, and I have a lot of feelings about that, and none of them are good. But, going back away from the live action, for his cartoon look, they gave him green skin, and I have to say, I'm not a fan of it, because I was a kind of fan of the idea that he was half human, and I think him having that human skin tone in comparison to Viperine, who is full on, like, snake features and everything for Gorgons, that was a nice contrast between those two characters who were both, like, Gorgons, right? I was a fan of him being, like, half human. You know, they could have explored some angles with that, but, you know, I guess they changed it. He has green skin now. Oh well. But for my design, I decided to stay with the half human because I really enjoyed that idea. I kept his hair, or snakes, as is because I didn't know what else to do with them. I didn't want to give him normal hair with snakes in it because I thought that would look really weird, but I also didn't want to give him just hair because I wanted to keep the snakes because I wanted to keep the idea of the snakes kissing Cleo on the forehead like they did because that was so cute! Anyway, so basically I stuck with the punk aesthetic, the he was a skater boy aesthetic, you know? I kept his glasses, of course, because they're important. I'm pretty sure they didn't have him have glasses for the cartoon, which is really weird because he's gonna turn people to stone, but okay, you do you, cartoon. Kept his glasses because obviously he can't be turning people into stone on the daily. I went with a mix of his regular skater punk jacket and his team uniform. I merged the two by giving him an asymmetrical jacket because I thought that would look cool. And you know what? I'm going to make the executive decision and say he's the type of bitch to wear a jacket like that, you know? I don't make the rules, I only enforce them. Yeah, I gave him an asymmetrical jacket with the Monster High logo on it, or at least the team logo. I also gave him a t-shirt underneath that says Snake Charmer because I thought that would be cute considering who his girlfriend is, because she can charm snakes. But yeah, there's not a lot to say about Deuce. His design is really simple. I gave him regular pants. You'll see later on that I added like this scale kind of detail to the pants because I thought his design was too plain. So I wanted to add a pattern somewhere, excuse me. Bleh. So I wanted to give him some sort of pattern on his pants, and I thought, oh, why not scales? He has the whole the snake shtick going on. I'm so sorry, I have no script and I refuse to write one. So I'm practically rambling at this point. But you know what, that's fine. That's how life works. And now you're stuck with me, rambling about this guy who took forever to draw. Or at least forever in my opinion. But yeah, gave him some wacky Converse because I actually don't remember why I gave him Converse. I thought I would have given him boots. I guess not. I guess in the heat of the moment, my heart only wanted Converse for this man. You know what? I don't question it. Like I said before, I gave him the Snake Charmer decal, which I actually kind of really like. I really like how that little design turned out. It just looks so cool. I also gave him this gold band that's coming out of his pocket because I wanted one of the colors on him to tie back with Cleo. So I gave him a little bit of gold because, you know, Cleo's all about the gold. But other than that, I gave him mostly silver accents so that way he would mesh well with Cleo if they were to stand next to each other. Her with the gold, him with the silver. Just a whole kind of like really cute couple thingies that they're like pseudo matching, you know? But yeah, other than that, he was relatively simple and he actually turned out a lot better than I thought. I thought he was gonna turn out bad because I don't draw dudes. But you know, this is a little step in the right direction. This is a step towards my redemption arc. But other than that, on to Ghoulia. And we're on to Ghoulia. Listen, I'm just gonna admit this straight up front. She was the most fun to work on. I had so many ideas for her, and so little time to execute any of them. Listen, Ghoulia is a mashup of aesthetics, and I don't know how she does it, but she do. So basically, you have Ghoulia's basic outfit, which is like a Scene Kid kind of inspired outfit. I think that's what it's called, Scene Kid. But then you have some of her other outfits, which exude more of a pinup style fashion energy to them, alright? So Ghoulia has those two aesthetics going for her, especially with the whole cherry thing that is found in a lot of her outfits, so I had a lot to work with. But then something clicked during the process, something clicked in my brain, which it never does, and I thought to myself, if Claudine isn't the one to fit in overalls, who is? And the answer was clear, my friends. It's Ghoulia. Except, not overalls, I gave her a romper! If you don't know me, which you don't, I love rompers. I love them so much. I have too many rompers. So my excuse to draw a character that I enjoy, I like Ghoulia a lot, in a romper, let's go. Yep, already did it. Already had that idea in my brain and it was never gonna leave. And then I gave her a hairstyle to kind of exude that sort of pin-up energy to it with those like parted bangs that kind of floof a little bit and that ponytail. Yep, already got it. Already had so many ideas that I just wanted to execute. I wanted to give her like an asymmetrical kind of style to her. I wanted to give her these big ol' round glasses with the tinted lens because why not? We're gonna go full aesthetic here, okay? I was so excited for Ghoulia. Ghoulia has a lot of potential. I personally love vintage aesthetics and vintage fashion, specifically from the 1960s. Those swing dresses, fun. But yeah, gave her those glasses, immediately had a nice idea for how I wanted to execute the romper. And as a little note, since we're in the face area right now, I didn't add a eye shine to Ghoulia because she is a zombie. So I wanted a little bit of that to come into her design, so I didn't give her any eye shine, which, you know, you don't really even notice with the glasses. But I thought that would be like a nice like little detail because she is a zombie. She is technically dead. Which, as a side note, the live action and the doll gave her green skin. Now, listen, I know zombies are like dead people and you know you want green for a decay. Listen, everyone does green skin for zombies. I'm sick of it. It's everywhere. Why did we need to give Ghoulia green skin like every other freaking zombie out there? Ooh, I tapped something. No, we're keeping the gray skin. I like the gray skin a lot. I think it fits her, alright? I don't want the basic green skin zombie. No, we're not having that in this household. No, thank you. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it's like, wow, you really had no other idea to do for a zombie character, huh? But no, we're keeping the gray skin. I like it. But yeah, back to the romper, which I'm so excited about. Gave her a pocket, gave her the cherry symbol on it because apparently cherries are her thing. I'm not gonna question it. It's cool. I added a thing to the cherries though. I added these little like ghost faces on the cherries because I thought it would make them a little bit more interesting and also kind of funny. I gave her a brain pattern on the side of her romper because I also thought that would be funny to be part of the design to make the romper just a little bit more interesting, like this stripe of brain pattern fabric, which I thought was pretty cool. I kept the Converse heels because I thought they were so funky but also kind of really cool, so I kept the Converse heels, but I made a little bit of changes to them. I changed the decal from the Monster High thingy to like this kind of goop thing. You'll see why later. I added a bit of goop to her design because I thought it would be a lot cooler, and also because I was inspired by the Snow Bite costume for Draculaura, which has these pops of green, which Ghoulia has green in her design, and I wanted to do something more with the green. But yeah, I made her design a little bit asymmetrical with the with her socks, with her leggings. There we go. Added a few patterns. I just went ham. Honestly, she's my favorite. I'm not gonna even like pretend to be unbiased. No, she's my favorite of all these designs. I want her outfit now because I think it looks really cool. I love the romper. It just turned out so good. And her shoes also turned out pretty good too. My favorite. Between her and Draculaura, they're both my favorites for each of the videos. But yeah, I added a bit of goop to her design to give her some more green. And there we go. There's the Ghoulia. And now we're on to Abby. So I think for Abby, the only thing I really enjoyed from the live action was her design. Her design, I actually really liked it. I liked the hairstyle they gave her and how they gave her more focus on having winter clothing. You know, they gave her like a puffy jacket, I'm pretty sure. So, I did take some inspiration from the live action, which is something that has not happened from these designs other than like Draculaura's hairstyle, I think. So I gave Abby the same hairstyle, except I kind of changed how the colors were working around just so I can draw it and retain my sanity. I gave her the cute little like cone buns that I saw. I was like, you know what, sure, let's give her some cone buns. Another thing I was excited for Abby was that I wanted to make her huge, which you can't really see it in this drawing because she's by herself. But when I actually do the lineup of the characters, you get to see how tall I really wanted to make her. I wanted her to be big. She is the child of a Yeti. All right, she's gotta be at least slightly bigger than her peers. You know, I get it. She has the big hands. That's not enough. You gotta make her beefy. So I made her a little thicker, because she's strong too. She's like canonically very strong too. She gotta have like those slight muscles, you know? So I made her slightly beefier as much as I could, because I'm still practicing body proportions. Which I'm probably gonna be doing like a simple study in the future or something, just so I can figure out how muscles work. But for now, I did the best I could from what I thought looked the best. I gave her the big hands too with the claws and stuff. But yeah, she turned out pretty cool. I really like her colors. I love the sort of like white with a pop of cool colors on her, with the exception of the slight pink. I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to do something with that. I wanted to give her more of the pastel colors, except I leaned more to like these darker pastel colors so her hair can really shine. Because her hair with those pinks and blues turned out very bright, and I wanted more of a focus on her hair. But at the same time, not letting her clothes kind of fall behind. So you'll see in a second. Basically what I did is that I made the clothes more muted colors, except for the jacket, since it's the midpoint between the hair and the rest of the clothes. So I kind of made like a sort of gradient of colors on the way down. For Abby, listen, for Abby's G1 design, I'm not gonna lie, I was always iffy on it. I don't think Abby's like my favorite design wise, because again, she's the daughter of a Yeti, and I could never figure out why she had giant fur boots. I don't know, it's just a giant like wad of fur towards the end of her legs. Like is that her hair? That'd be horrifying, because I don't think that's how it works. I just could never figure it out. I just, like, why not give her actual boots? Or like, is that part of her? Or is that like separate boots? She's got the little fur around her wrists, but I assume those are like wrist warmers or something. I just could never figure it out. The dress I also wasn't a fan of because of the weird string that's around the midriff. I don't know what the purpose of that is. There was just a lot with Abby. So I kind of took all that frustration and put it into the design. That weird string around her midriff, I added it to her boots. Just to make it look a little bit better, but also kind of call back to her original design. But put it in a place that might make more sense, I guess. I've seen people like tie their boots like that, so I assume that's normal. I added the fluff around the jacket and the stuff. I used the brush from ABD Illustrates. Alex made a wonderful brush that was a lifesaver, because I'm still learning how to draw like fluff on fluffy jackets and stuff. So thank you so much, Alex, for your brush. I would highly recommend checking out that brush if you have Clip Studio Paint. It was very nice. But yeah, I made her shoes have a touch of ice, because I thought that'd be kind of cool, actually. Like, she made them herself because she wanted more height, even though she's pretty fucking tall already. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else to add. She's so simple yet so not, because there's just a lot going on with her regular design that I'm trying to boil down into explaining why I did certain things. Her jacket, I actually really like how her jacket turned out. I wanted that sort of triangle design she had on her dress, but I added it to the jacket and just added a nice little gradient to it. I just think it's a really nice midpoint between her hair and between the rest of her clothing. Either way, I think she turned out pretty cool, and I can't wait to see the lineup, because again, I wanted her to be big. But yeah, I think she turned out pretty cool, and I really love her colors. Her colors are really nice. But yeah, I think it's time to see everyone in the lineup.